Hi, welcome to School of Miracles. My name is Kelly Lorraine, and I'm here with Miro. And today we're here to talk about Thursday triggers. Well, Miro, it's been an interesting week. Energy is super intense. I feel like we are in the lull before the shift. What's going on in the sky?
Hi, Kelly. Hi, everybody. So I think I will just correct you a little bit because I don't think that we are just 1 week in this mode. This is the whole month, basically. I mean, I will not say the year, never mind. But yes, we have really interesting aspects right now. Of course, Moon is in Leo. We are going to feel soon when Moon gets into the next sign, uh, into Virgo. But the thing is that now we have the major aspect, which is the Mercury being retrograde, going back to Virgo, and of course, the Sun going from Virgo to Libra. So we have two planets crossing each other, like going over each other. So basically, those planets, which is our beneficial planet, it's called the lights on the sky. So when two lights come, together, they of course we think that they brings us even more light, like enlightenment and things like that,
Mhm.
beautiful things. But actually in astrology that's not the case. The sun is burning down this Mercury retrograde, and imagine now you're eating your favorite cake or whatever and you're overeating so much, so you get some a little bit sick. But the thing is, with this square between Mars and Venus and conjunction of Sun and Mercury retrograde, we have Venus, who is, being the Venus. She's waiting for, she's actually saying bye bye to Sun, and she's welcoming the Mercury again because Mercury is going back. So, on English, what's everything in translation basically? What's going to happen? Everything that you're feeling right now, these triggers are here to cause the panic. These triggers are here to cause, to bring you the feeling of lack. Everything is lack, lack of this, lack of love, lack of intimacy, lack of whatever, you can name it.
Mhm.
The How we can deal with it, I mean, we will of course go step by step and explain it, but uh, those triggers are here because you know this is the last thing, like this is one more time and the cycle is over, because
Yeah.
now especially because of this day today, which is important, uh, as the equinox, and now we are trying to basically balance it ourselves, balance everything in our life, our love life, our business, our health, our this, our that. So basically balance is the key right now. Imagine now having a lot of the issues, in your daily basis. Uh, Kids running in a house, yelling, throwing things, this or that, and you need to find a peace to do something that you need to do. How do you find a peace? Somebody would say, I will, like put the kids in the room and that's it.
Mhm.
Uh, but the thing is that we need to step away from our comfort zone because everything that is happening right now is like in a huge bubble. We are inside it, and we have a lot of ping pong, little balls like hitting the walls and everything and hitting us as well. So now we need to step away from that comfort zone, get out of it in order to be in, of course, balance. Mercury retrograde is going to brings us, a lot of issues from um, past relationship, partners, friends, whatever, you can name it. As well, this Venus, the only good thing for me, from my side, is this Venus in Virgo. She is there. She wants to be provided. She's providing when she needs to provide. But on the other side, Sun entering into Libra, giving the voice to that Venus, because Venus you know, in Virgo is like just is in Virgo. So
Mhm.
I think that all these triggers is like everybody talking out loud and you want to, like cover your ears, not to listen. But in order to achieve that balance, achieve that peace and everything, I think that we don't need dynamic. I think that we need a good sleep. I think that we need nature. I think that we need grounding. I think that we need a meditation. We need a good company. We need basically good people around us in our life. And even if you say like, I don't have good people in my life, you do, you have the mirror, like talk to yourself, because sometimes talking to yourself is really a healthy thing to do, so there is a lot of good things that might appear in this period, but as well we have a lot of triggers, and all these triggers are here just to open our eyes and to move us from that status quo point that we love to call comfort zone.
I think what you're saying is that we have to connect with our authentic self. We need the grounding. We need to ask ourselves, where do we want to be? What do we want to do? How do we want to get there? Now, I'm not suggesting that we have to go plan our futures, because we can't simply know what the future holds, but we can be in the present moment and say, you know what? I'm going to make a decision right now, currently based on the circumstances. I think people right now in particular are extremely afraid to make even the simplest decisions, meaning, should I do this for work? Should I buy this house? Should I sell this house? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I be in this relationship? Should I stay? Should I go? I think people have to look at what is at the top of their list right now and say, I need to make a decision. Because what I mentioned earlier about it being the lull before the storm, or the shift, I guess you could say, is you're right. It has nothing to do with just this past week. For the last few weeks, it almost feels like forever right now, everybody has been tested from every angle. There is complete exhaustion, crazy dreams, tension. It's been like a roller coaster of emotions. And I think that what it's coming down to is that we just have to rip the band-aid off and make the change or make the decision and adjust. And you know how I always talk about the Roomba vacuum. A Roomba vacuum circulates the room. When it hits a wall, it just turns around and redirects itself. If you're in the position right now of making a major decision, it's okay to make that decision and adjust based on circumstances. Fear is at an all-time high right now. And everybody is saying, well, what if? What if? Well, you can't possibly know unless you make the decision or make the step. Then you will address it when the time comes. But right now, what I'm feeling, and I have been feeling, is that this is the lull before the shift, where we've had this real sort of dip, these worries, confusion, stresses, back and forth. And then all of a sudden, we're going to hit this Libra season, or this fall equinox that we're in, and everything is going to start to align again and balance. Because you and I talked about this before, where we could look at September as being the 9th month and sort of ending a cycle, because we're going to have Libra season, or October being the 10th month. That's a 1. November being the number 2, and December being number 3. So in other words, we are sort of starting anew. And one of the triggers this week, or in the past little whiles, everybody's talking about, September 24th. Okay, obviously that's coming up in a few days. And, I've only ever felt good shifts. When we say holy shift, I think we are going to have a major shift, but I have not anticipated anything bad, as in doomsday, or, zombie apocalypse, as we're reading online. I just think that triggering right now is us having to make a change, and change is difficult for people. And I think that's the fear that everybody's feeling right now, is what's next. And so I sum it up this way. I said it in my TikTok live. I've actually said it in a few of my videos. I almost get the sense that people are worried about, what are they going to worry about when they have nothing to worry about? It's all this worry, anticipation. And it kind of reminds me of one of my favorite children's books. And Miro, I don't know if this is a book that was over in Serbia when you were a child, but it's one of my favorites. And it's called The Monster at the End of This Book. And it's from Sesame Street. And it's Grover, who warns people at the beginning of the book that there is a monster at the end of the book. And as he goes through the pages, in fear, he ties ropes. and tells you not to turn the page. You turn the page and all the ropes break, and he gets upset with you and says, don't turn the page, And then the next page, he's building a brick wall. Cement is all over the place. He builds up this wall, and you turn the page, and all the cement bricks fall to the ground. And he says, you turned the page. And at the very end of the book, we discover that he is the monster at the end of the book. Sorry for spoilers for anybody. But the idea here is that we were afraid of something that there was nothing to be afraid of. And so we have to continue to turn the page and adjust. So right now, I think there are a lot of people who are on the brink of major change because a decision needs to be made or addressed. And a lot of it comes down to what aligns with your soul, whether that's work related, whether that's relationship related, whether that's family and friends, whatever. But I think a lot of relationships in general are shifting. We can't take everybody with us. We are not the same person that we used to be. We have to live our authentic truth. And that's why I feel like it's almost like, here's an interesting analogy. This shift, it's like being on a school bus. It's almost like we're going to go back to school, right? We're going to start the school year, even though I know the school year doesn't start in October, but it feels like we're going to go back to school. And you know that feeling when you're on the school bus and all of a sudden the bus driver puts on the brakes, and then you were sitting okay, and then all of a sudden your body jolted forward with that inertia. It's like that lull is us riding the bus. We're riding the bus. And then all of a sudden the bus comes to the destination, and your body is jolted forward. And now it's time to get off that bus, and it's time to start. And it might be scary. The first day of school, we know we're always nervous. We're always afraid. We're looking around. We're looking at all the other people. We're nervous. But there's nothing to be nervous about, because I feel like this is actually going to bring more balance to our lives. It's going to bring more peace to our lives. So whatever the triggers are right now with September 24th, I feel actually that this is a good shift that we need. We're being catapulted. I think you and I had said earlier, if that makes any sense.
Yes, like we said it, I mentioned that this is more like not as a wheel of fortune, but
Mhm.
catapult of fortune. So, as we mentioned in the 24th and the fears and everything, the fear today is the main subject, not just today, like,
Yeah.
this whole year. Because everybody was saying, like, oh my God, are we going to have the lockdown again? Are we going to have this, have that? Basically, and you make a really good analogy when you mentioned and said that, they're worried about, what are they
Yeah.
going to worry when they stop worrying
Yeah.
about it. Now, which is paradox, of course.
Mhm.
Uh, the current energy, it is a fear. Because we right now are in one place, let's call it like that. It's a zone
Mhm.
of our planet. It's called Kali Yuga, which is the ending of Kali, and I mean, which is the goddess of destruction, basically.
Mhm.
So now imagine that our planet Earth, sign up a contract with the darkness, with this, with that, to be in that place, in that energy, in that zone for a couple of years. Now, this is the border. We are here. We are ending the cycle. That's why it's stuff like this. And we are entering in a next cycle, which is called Satyuga, which is the cycle of, the new beginnings. That's basically, as you can imagine, those who love tarot cards, that is the Fool card, the Star card, the Empress and Emperor together, of course, the Wheel of Fortune, and all beautiful cards, the Lovers, and all beautiful cards, beneficial cards. That's
Mhm.
that zone over there. But right now we are still in this zone, and if you raise the bar of the fear, you're conquering everything. That's the manipulation that's happening right now. And we all are connected because all people on this planet are basically one soul divided on millions and billions other little souls. So that's the reason why when we are in our home, in our place, and where we are watching TV and watching what's happening over there or over here or who knows where, we are feeling something inside us. Somebody
Mhm.
will say, but mirror, that's an empathy. Okay, but what is the connection of that empathy, that cloud above you? What is that? The collective. So
Mhm.
now the collective is basically screaming of fear. Everybody's frightened, with what's going to happen. Oh my God, 24th. Say something. Let's go all the way back to 1997, for example, or
Mhm.
8 or 9. Never mind. Let's so in the last previous millennium. Back then, we had a lot of people who were saying, "Oh my God, 2000 is the apocalypse year. This is that. This is raising the vibration of fear makes you the ruler, makes you on a top. Why? Because you have the attention. We're all reading the news, we are all having the magazines even. Never mind, you go online and you see the title. This thing that it's amazing. This is nobody says what is it. So you need to click on it. You need to enter that site and to read the whole news, the whole article that is written by a man, obviously. Um, and then you say, yeah, but I don't see the point. Why is the title this big and the text is just this?
Right.
So you need to turn on your brain and to think a little bit before you go into that critical mass of fear, because that's something that it's
Mhm.
having influence on you, on your environment, on people in your life, on absolutely everything. Why? The lack of information. So, of course, somebody say, but yes, tell me what is going to happen on 24th.
But that's
Day by
discernment.
day.
That's discernment and knowing what to take from it and what to leave. And I also believe that you can look at, let's say, September 24th in two ways. You can look at it as something positive is going to happen or something negative is going to happen. Whatever you're assuming is going to happen is going to happen. So in other words, if collectively we are in fear, we are going to manifest that negative. If we are in a positive mindset, we're assuming good things are going to come to you. Now, some may say, well, how is that possible? That's just wishful thinking, but it's all perspective. And I talk to people all the time, as I know you do, where we assume that people are going to hurt us. We assume that we're not going to get the job. We assume that things are going to go wrong or the other shoe's going to drop. Well, guess what? That's when it happens, when we're thinking in that mindset. So, I mean, we can take any topic and say, what's the perspective? And you're right. We need to do a little bit more digging in regards to knowledge and not just clickbait. We have to really look at where the
Just,
where the
yeah,
information is
but
coming
just to
from.
mention and to add, you don't
Yeah.
need to dig at all. You don't need to search. Don't need to investigate what is going to happen. You need now to continue this disturb mode that
Hmm.
is happening right now. Imagine you're in a hotel. We are all in one huge hotel. You have an amazing room service and everything. And you organize your whole day. Now the cleaning lady saying, "Hello, I'm here to clean the room. I'm here to clean the room," and they're cleaning the room on every 5 minutes. Is this true? But first of all, it's disturbing you. It's pushing you away from your obligations, your organizations and everything else. So what do we need? We need do not disturb mode on the door.
Hmm.
Do not disturb, please do not disturb. So I think that we all in our mind, in our souls needs to be, this is not, of course, maybe somebody would say, yeah, but this is a denial of the things that it's going to happen. Yeah.
Right.
But I will ask those people who think like that, DM me and tell me what do you think is going to happen. I mean, if I don't know, you don't know, who knows?
Right.
Maybe even the people who said it don't know. Who
Hmm.
cares what is going to happen? We need to be and to understand that the most important thing in 21st century is the law of momentum,
Yes.
here and now, not tomorrow, not this day. Because imagine this: you're here, 24th is here. you as a person, you're, bringing the energy of imagination of this, of that, what is going to happen into that balloon. Imagine
Mhm,
how the whole world doing that to that balloon. What is going to happen?
mhm,
So we need to say, like, yeah, but I don't want to see that. I want to turn off the TV. I want to do this. I want to live like this.
mhm,
Because I'm not saying that this is a similar, maybe similar thing that we had with the lockdowns and because the humanity didn't
mhm,
for the first time, maybe for I mean, in last couple of decades, we face that kind of thing.
mhm,
Now we are just somebody who needs to understand that till the end of 2023, we are going to have those kind of triggers. Why? Because that's a process of awakening or reawakening. Who wants to know what is awakening and reawakening?
mhm.
Go on Miracles and watch the first episode.
Yes. Mhm,
But yeah, I need to advertise a little bit. But the funny thing is that we're all afraid actually of that fear that is going to affect us. But yet, as we say, afraid, you're already in that fear. You're attracting more and attracting more.
mhm,
Uh, you'll need to basically push away everything and everyone who is having that negative and bad influence on us. Because if you're having successful relationship, job, whatever, if you're in that mode, you're basically giving to other people in your life, and those placements are going to be fulfilled with fear.
mhm. Well, I think let's take a couple cards here because I'm curious what the energy is going to say for these triggers today. The other thing I just want to mention very quickly is that I think with this shift or this change that we're all experiencing, and when I said about being worried about what are we going to worry about when we have nothing to worry about, it's almost like people are afraid to get what they want because they don't know what to do with it. And that's the fear of like, what do I do? How do I make a decision? And it all comes down to making a decision in the present moment right now that's going to set the path. And there is no wrong answer. You go with it. You be the Roomba, you spin around, you redirect if necessary. But something has to give here. Something's got to move, essentially, is what it means. We can't stay in the old. So let's see what is the energy. What do you have, Miro? What's the first card?
Well, my first card is know that I'll always love nines, not
Yes.
tens in
Yes.
tarot. So
Yes.
just have the Nine of Cups.
Interesting.
And this kind of a wish fulfillment, like imagine this, you're ending a cycle, and I will just go once, a step
Yep.
back to explain something. And when we look at the numerology, astrology as well, all those uh, we somehow can see that we have months from 1 to 9. Uh, 10th month, which is October, November, December, as you mentioned, Kelly, is actually the representation of January, February, and March next year.
Mhm.
So that's a really, really good thing to see. Like the things that is going to happen in October, similarities of those things is going to happen in January as well. So imagine now you're having the Nine of Cups card, which is the card of, wish fulfillment.
Mhm.
Imagine you now starting to fulfill your wishes. For example, I want to buy, the girls say, I want to buy a new lipstick. Okay, go buy it.
Mhm.
Guys say, I want to buy whatever, a shirt, jacket, whatever, go buy it. You're preparing yourself for next year. So somebody will say, but yes, Miro, we are in September still, of course. But as we have, for example, October, November, December, as a comparison, January, February, March, at the same time, this decade of these 10 days till the end of September is a representation of the first 10 days in October.
Mhm.
So, like everything is like, like the letters. So, start fulfilling your wishes and slow down if I see that's actually the night of. Pentacles, right?
Well, when I see this Knight of Pentacles, I think of exactly what I've been saying for how many weeks now? The lull before the shift. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck. We're preparing ourselves, we're going through the motions. That Nine of Cups that you have is saying, ask and you shall receive. It is going to come to fruition. We are going to have that wish fulfillment. It's going to take some time, and we are on the brink of major change, because the one thing we do know about the Knight of Pentacles is that it is Taurus energy, which is absolutely slow, but it mixes with a bit of Aries energy, which is like get up and go. And when you get to the point of the get up and go, that's when you're going to have the wish fulfillment. And that's when you're going to say, holy shift, right? So let's see what else we need to know. It's a holy shift right now, big time.
It is.
It's it's
It
it's
is.
it's going to be a major change for people, and it's going to be uncomfortable, but it's going to be worth it. And look at this. I have the Page of Pentacles. You have
And the Tower.
So this is really interesting to me, because the Page of Pentacles, traditionally is like saying there's some sort of tangible offer. This could be about studying something new, and then I look at the Tower and I see, well, we're burning it all down. We're letting all the old stuff go. And there's an offer of something new here. And it's also about an offer of knowledge. Whenever the Tower happens and people say, well, I don't want to start over again. I don't want to start at zero. You're not starting at zero. You're starting at a point where you have more knowledge than you ever had before. Because before you had that Tower moment, you didn't have that experience. Now you have the experience, and what you make of that knowledge is completely up to you. People say knowledge is power. Sure. Okay. On the surface, it is. What you use that knowledge for, in my opinion, is even more powerful. So the Tower, I think that's just reminiscent of, we are letting go of old cycles and we are shifting towards new learning, new offers, and those offers are unknown, and that's okay. You're going to have to accept based on your intuition and trusting the process. As cheesy as that sounds, I've been doing so many readings lately where it's like, trust, 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 trust. Did I say trust? I said trust. Yes, trust the process, people. Oh, okay, trust. Allow that trust. And so that to me is what's happening. You're going to have to intuitively trust yourself to make major life decisions and see what happens.
So if you're a kind of person who says like, I don't want to start from zero, I don't want to start from the beginning,
Mhm.
how did you actually like enter in a new relationship, for example, or start a new job if you don't want to go from zero, from the beginning?
Mhm.
So, basically people are not aware of the paradox of how they speak, how what they're how they are, coming things together in their mind.
Yeah.
So I think that right now, for example, I always love to say that because I can do it, but because I am I, you can't do it.
Mhm.
So that's kind of ego mode. So this is the destruction of an ego. If you want these wishes to be fulfilled, yes, we need maybe sometimes to, you know, bring a wall down, or we need to redecorate or clean, or are you willing to actually take a beautiful new shirt on your dirty body or something like that? No, you need to clean yourself first of all. So imagine this as a huge cleanup in your life in order for you to be victorious, to be successful, to be this or that. Yes, as Kelly said, you have your knowledge, you have your experience, because the most important thing in this world, in our life individually, is the experience of our soul. I'm not here to convince you in that. I'm here to say it to people who live that already, and for all of those who is having that kind of amount of space in their mind and heart for this sentence, for this kind of behavior, and this kind of the view on life, they will take it. Somebody will take somebody else's till you build your view of life. It's okay to borrow. It's okay to say something that I say or Kelly said or whoever. Never mind. You can use it. When people are afraid to use, That's the issue. So who cares about the offer? Kelly's holding the card of new offers. Who cares about it? If you want to burn it all and to, be at your place and that's it. So we don't need to be afraid. We need to have the courage sometimes. And yes, there is a lot of courage needed to activate the tower mode.
Yeah. And a tower can also be a breakthrough. It doesn't have to necessarily mean that you burned it all down. It can mean that you really had a breakthrough where you've understood something or you've had clarity about something. And now you're saying, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for something else, you know? And interesting, Miro, because you and I talked about this specific card earlier. And the Knight of Wands, oh, interesting. Is that I,
Six of
it
Wands.
says, it's hmm, no surprise. Because here you go. When we have this shift, we are going to be moving forward quickly, passionately, and we're going to be decisive. And there's that Six of Wands that says, I'm going to have the victory. I'm going to have it. I'm going to be okay. It's all about the perspective. This is like saying, I'm gonna go full steam ahead and full force. I'm not going to hold myself back. It's a little more energy of like a do first, think later, where I'm not going to overthink this. I'm going to just go with it and see what happens.
So first card, we have the Nine of
Hmm.
Cups. You
Yeah.
enter in the bar, you catch up with your friends,
Yeah.
you agree to do something huge. But sometimes, how time goes, some people basically just say, like, yeah, I don't believe in that. I'll go home to sleep.
Yeah.
And they leave you. Couple of them are there, and you have a huge, huge, huge like task. You
Hmm.
want to do this or that. Then you're going into the dragon's lair. You're going inwards. You're going to destroy. You're having the
Hmm.
breakthrough. You're having this.
Yeah.
Everything. And what I said that you're going to be victorious. We have you putting the flag, you being victorious. So with this, like dragon, that's a good, really good book that you mentioned, Kelly. The master at the end of the book.
Yeah.
Because this is that.
Yeah.
Um, And I think that we're all afraid of our mind. We are all afraid of capability of our mind to surprise us, to catch us without, like us having a guard or whatever,
Hmm.
um, off guard actually. So I think that with the Six of Wands, which is triumph and victory and you being victorious and did you ever consider the fact if this duke or whoever he is on a battlefield never had a fear? It's okay to have the fear, but don't allow it to control you. That's the thing. Because
Hmm.
we all fear for something, but who would say that maybe you're afraid of being successful? Maybe you're afraid of being loved. Maybe you're afraid of stepping out of your comfort zone. Maybe you're afraid of you. So, first of all, we need to face it, we need to address it, and we need to, not address it to other people, but address it towards ourselves to do the job, to meet ourselves. Remember when I mentioned in previous videos
Hmm.
that we are going to clean our first chakra, clean our basement.
Hmm. Yeah. I,
So many of them clean it. So, well done.
I think that card is a card also of recognition in the sense of that's like saying, I've put that flag there. I recognize the victory. And, like it's like being proud of yourself for taking the risk, no reward. You got to put yourself out there. And if we only knew what was on the other side of fear, because once we get over that mountain, what I love about the symbolism of a mountain, and I've been saying this a lot in my readings, a mountain everybody sees as an obstacle. Sure, got to get over that mountain. But does anybody ever talk about the fact that getting to the top of that mountain is an achievement? That's where the flag goes down and say, I made it, I did it. So a mountain doesn't have to be a negative symbol. It can be a symbol of complete recognition and accomplishment and victory. And that's what we got to do. We got to get to the top of that mountain and over it. And we will. we're in a major time of shift. So Miro, thank you so much as always. Very, very interesting. We'll have to see what happens, of course, with September 24th, but I'm anticipating a good shift.
Same as me, Kelly. Thank you so much for having me, and talk to you soon.
Bye.